Welcome to the Building Blocks of Safety podcast, where we provide expert safety training that's rooted in biblical principles. I'm your host, Benjamin Risk, and thank you for tuning into episode 3 of this podcast. So in our last episode, we really discussed the importance of OODA loop, which stands for observe, orient, decide, and act. Well, in this episode, we're going to continue building from there by discussing our next block, which is detach versus disengage. So when it comes to an emergency, the definition of detach is to emotionally step back from a situation, take a deep breath, and calmly assess the situation, looking for the best possible outcome. As opposed to disengagement, which is to remove yourself completely, either emotionally or physically, from an emergency. One of these mindsets is planning and decisive, while the other one is instinctual and automatic. Now, what if I were to tell you that both of these mindsets are actually important, but they have to be placed in their proper context? Let me give you an example. Let's say we have a hot stove in front of me. If I were to place my hand on a hot stove, do I have to sit there and say, that's an uncomfortable feeling, so I'm going to give a signal from my brain to my hand to remove it? No. You're going to instinctually say, that's hot, and remove your hand. So that's operating in disengagement, which means that we just experienced something uncomfortable, and there's no reason that I need to continue putting my hand on that hot stove, so I'm removing it as quick as possible. Let's go back to the church setting. Let's say that we've just utilized our proper OODA loop procedures, meaning that we've observed that there's an emergency taking place. We've oriented ourselves to say this is a credible judgment. We've decided to tell somebody about this emergency. Now we're acting on that decision with due diligence. So let's say we turn around and now we are face to face with the threat right in front of us. What do we do? What do we think in these situations? What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the definitions of detach versus disengage. And I want you to think about, okay, what would I do in a situation like this? I'm going to start talking about detachment. Okay, let's use our detachment mindset. In detachment, we're going to be asking ourselves questions such as, where's my nearest exit? Is this person in front of me holding a weapon that I need to be concerned about? Where are my loved ones and my friends during this emergency? And are they in a safe place? Rather, at this point, let's plug in disengagement mindset. Disengagement mindset would be, if there's no reason for me to be in this emergency, then I'm getting the heck up out of here as quick as possible. Okay? So you see the difference? Detachment is saying, okay, I still need to be involved in this situation, but I can step back and replace negative emotions with positive emotions so I can look for the best outcome. Rather than disengage, which is getting out completely. So I'm going to go to the Bible here, and there's actually a scripture passage that discusses the difference between detachment versus disengagement, and it's found in Luke 10:30 through 37. Let me go there right now. So starting out, this is Jesus speaking, and he's telling a parable. So Jesus said, a Jewish man was traveling from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half for dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along, but when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. So this priest, what did he do? Did he operate in detachment or disengagement? He operated in disengagement. He saw that there was a threat right in front of him, and instead of getting involved in this situation, he observed the threat, he oriented himself, he made a decision to say, I'm crossing to the other side of the road, and I'm not even going to get involved. Let's continue reading. Then a temple assistant walked over and looked at the man lying there, but he also passed by to the other side. Is this detachment or disengagement? Again, this is disengagement. This is saying the person recognized that there was a threat right in front of him, but instead of becoming the answer, he chose to step to the other side of the road and continue moving. Okay, let's continue reading. Then a despised Samaritan came along. That means he had no reason to be there. And when he saw the man, he was moved with compassion for him. Going over to the man, the Samaritan then soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. The next day, he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, take care of this man. If the bill runs higher than this, I will pay you the next time I'm here. Now Jesus said, now which one of these would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by bandits? The man replied, the one who showed him mercy. Then Jesus said, yes, now go and do the same. So do you see the difference between detachment versus disengagement? The common factor here is compassion. We have a mandate here in the Bible from Jesus to be moved with compassion, because it says right here in Scripture that that's how we show that we're neighbors and that we love other people, is when we're moved with compassion. So to summarize all of this, there's a time and a place to utilize both mindsets. Let me break this down for you. Detachment is motivated by compassion, meaning that you're making the choice to emotionally step back from a situation so you can calmly respond wisely to the emergency. Now, disengaging is motivated by preservation, meaning that you're making the choice to completely remove yourself from the situation, either emotionally or physically, either because there's no real reason to get involved or stay involved, or the situation has gotten too unsafe. If you would like to learn more, please visit www.ccd-security.com or click on the link below. Thank you for tuning into this episode and have a wonderful day.